Hello and welcome to the Gambling Files podcast, the podcast that asks the question, if I said to you, stand A555, what would you say?
I'd say, oh my God, it's Optimove at SBC Lisbon. What a beautiful stand. And you mentioned the gambling files. You get a free month free. First month free. Not a free month
First
free.
month free. That's a great answer, Fintan. I'm one of your hosts, John Bruford, joined by your other host, Fintan Costello, he of the hair. Fintan, hello.
Hey, John.
So it's a big week for us. We have launched the Gambling Book Awards.
If you can hear typing in the background, this is me fending off people trying to throw money at us for sponsorship because it is off the charts in terms of interest of people want to sponsor this a great event. But we'll talk about the event first and then we'll talk about sponsorship.
Yeah, it's definitely struck a chord, which is very pleasing. I mean, it's one thing to think something might do it. It's another thing when it actually happens, right? So the Gambling Book Awards, it's a book awards for, and it's a proper book awards. There is a substantial cash prize. It has to be a book written in the English language, published for the first time between September 2024, September 2025. Self-published books are presently not eligible. We launched it this week and we've already had several submissions, which is pretty exciting. We're going to announce the long list at the start of December, short list at the start of January, and then we will give the awards with the shortlisted authors present at ICE in Barcelona.
And we're paying for them to go to Barcelona. We're paying for their hotel.
We are.
It's a proper cash prize. We've benchmarked our cash prize against other awards like the FT Business Book, the Booker Prize.
It's more than many of them.
It's like everything. There's more money in gambling. Be a gambling author. Let's go. Yes. Yeah, we're taking care of the authors. This isn't they don't have to pay anything. There's no entry fee. There's nothing like that. This is a proper.
It's about finding the best Gambling Book Awards for an industry that is full of highly intelligent people, voracious readers, people that are just, we're all fundamentally interested in what we're doing. The books can be fiction or non-fiction. They can be pro or anti-gambling. They can just have a character that is a gambler. Yeah. It's a really, really broad remit. And I think we're going to have a lot of fun with it. We've got a fantastic panel of judges.
Oh, heavy hitters.
I'm really, really, really happy with the panel of judges. Which we'll talk about that on a later episode.
I think we should.
But yes, so if you want to know anything about that, it's www.gamblingbookawards.com. We're excited. And we're going to be having some interesting guests on the podcast as a direct result of doing that. So I would like to say at this point, Fintan, that every Matrix is delivering advanced turnkey platform technology to the global regulated iGaming and lottery industries with outstanding results. They are powering the world's biggest brands, solving your biggest challenges, and taking your business to the next level. Do you know why, Fintan?
Why is that?
Because with every Matrix, everything is possible.
I love that. I love a clever strapline.
On that same subject, Clarion Gaming are one of our benevolent sponsors.
They are.
Organisers of the aforementioned ICE in Barcelona. And I'm really excited for ICE, except I got a fucking email earlier. So I booked everything really early. Because I accidentally
You've booked?
Yeah. I booked my flight. I've paid for my luggage. I paid for the hotel. It's all booked. I got an email from Ryanair earlier telling me that it's fucking September, telling me that my flight in January has been cancelled.
That'll teach you.
Teach me to book with Ryanair, won't it? You know what that means? More than likely, cancelling it at this point, this far forward, they've probably cancelled the route.
Or they cancel the flight, rebook the flight, jack up the prices because they've realised there's a conference on.
No, but I was flying from Birmingham.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I don't think it would be
interesting.
But we'll see. So Clarion Gaming, and also as previously mentioned,
just to add, I can't believe you've booked travel before me. That's as long as we've known each other, that has never happened before.
You know why it's happened, don't you?
Why? You got the one.
It's because of my top executive watch, which is going to have to go back. It turns out.
Why?
Well, so there's a slight fault with it, right? It's gaining about 5 minutes a week, which if I were a lawyer would be fine because that's an extra billable hour every few months, right?
Oh, they'd be winding it forward. That's how they buy them.
I need to buy a watch. Have you got any other faulty ones? So I emailed Timex's customer services, right? And I explained the fault. It's gaining 5 minutes a week. And I got the most condescending reply I've possibly ever had. And it was this bloke explaining that it's an automatic mechanism and just moving around should give it the power to go through and you have to move around with it, otherwise it might wind down and blah, blah, blah. And I had to reply and say, I'm not sure you read my email. I said it's gaining 5 minutes a week, not losing 5 minutes a week. And then I got a very short reply which just said, you need to contact the UK, blah, 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 blah. And I thought, you've been a prick and you know it.
Yeah, he's been caught.
It was
Or they used AI.
No, not a chance. AI would never take that tone. Not with its human masters. Unless I was piloting the AI, in which case, yeah, fair. No, but I was disappointed. But weirdly, his name was Ivan, and he spelled it with 2 N's. Who does that?
Interesting.
Yes.
It might have been the first letter of his surname. A lot of customer support do that.
Wow, that is interesting. I've learned a lot today. So, anyway, Optimove, the creators of positionless marketing and the #1 player engagement platform, they are heading to SBC Lisbon, which we mentioned earlier, but this is their actual ad read that they gave me. In fact, I should probably do it with the correct inflections. Heading to SBC Lisbon, mention Gambling Files when you visit Optimove at stand A555 and get your first month free. That's stand A555 and that's your first month free.
Here's a question for you.
Go on.
You're an avid fan of the Gambling Files podcast. You're super interested in Optimove.
Love it.
Would you actually mention the podcast when you're on the stand?
Do you think it would be embarrassing?
I think I would be.
Maybe we should put a code word in there.
Pineapple.
Yeah. Mention cucumber when you're on the booth.
Because that won't be embarrassing at all. I'm here for the cucumbers.
Go to the Optimove booth and ask for the Snoopy watches, and then see what happens.
Ask for the
see
secret
how fast
menu.
Security can get.
It's like one of those secret menu things, right? I want the panda paw. I know you have it. Give me the panda.
I want the blowfish.
Let the apprentice do it. Go on.
No, I think there's a lot of fun to be had there. I'm glad that they gave us this ad read copy.
Well, we came up with a better one in the podcast.
Yeah, we did.
Nothing's free at Vegas, apart from 1 month free with Optimove if you mention the Gambling Files podcast on their stand.
I mean, that was quite happy with that. Yeah. Maybe one day I'll be employable.
You should look into this writing thing. Could work out for you.
Yeah, maybe one day. So who's on this episode, Fintan?
We have the wonderful Sam from Optimove. Sam is VP something of the Americas. VP?
Customer success for the Americas.
Anyway, he's a lovely chap.
Yeah, nice fellow. Very Very impressive head of hair.
Yeah, he did.
I noticed these things.
You must. It must be a thing, right? It's so it's yeah. And I had to think about it. I'm like, oh yeah, you did have a nice head of hair. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and we talk basically. Yeah, it's NFL season kicking off. This is the big one. It's fucking. I'm excited. It's that kind of nervous energy. What's going to happen? How big's the year going to be? How well is everything going to go? And Sam talks us through stuff he's seeing with operators, kind of trends, how people are positioning themselves with welcome offers, retention. How do you CRM strategies, kind of reactivation, preventing churn, cross-selling into other sports in October, and obviously the ever-present casino. And then we talk a little bit about the Club World Cup, and we talk about US sports in general, some of the US some of the trends they're seeing, and just have a bit of a chat. He's a lovely chap, super knowledgeable, brilliant.
And Fintan disagrees with me
on everything.
Yeah,
always.
Yeah,
we do agree on that. You see, there you go. There's an agreement.
Oh my God, that's going to fry my AI analysis's brain. It's going to be like, this is a paradox. We're going to tear the fabric of the universe, Fintan.
Yeah.
What were you thinking?
What was I thinking?
Fuck a duck. I'm not just saying that because I just saw my rubber duck up there behind me.
All right. It's a big duck.
It is a big duck. Hey, I got a new decorative thing as well. Do you see that?
Happy birthday.
I bought it for myself.
Oh, sorry, I was looking at the card. Was that?
Oh, it's a bowl. No, look at this. So this is a smoke finished bowl, and my friend Mary made it. It's absolutely gorgeous.
I was going to give you reached the point in your life where pottery is interesting.
I'm a huge fan of Mary's work. I really am. It's absolutely stunning.
It is a nice one.
And you can find those on Mary Stevens Ceramics.
Affiliate link below. Smash that link. Tell Mary John sent you.
You don't get your first month free with Mary, unfortunately.
Careful.
Oh no, I don't.
Appreciate
Fintan. I would never say such a thing about a dear friend.
You said it.
Fintan. So we're going to meet. We're going to meet Sam. You didn't say Sam's wonderful surname.
I didn't.
Sam Zerfoss. We're going to meet Sam Zerfoss, VP of Customer Success Americas for Optimove. Enjoy the episode. We welcome this week's guest, who it's a timely episode, because as any sportsbook provider or operator or better will know, the NFL season is upon us. It starts on, like, is it Friday this week? Thursday. I mean, that's a strange day to start your season, but then it's a strange game. But we are appropriately joined by the immaculately named Sam Zerfoss, VP of Customer Success for the Americas for Optimove. Now, Sam being here is nothing to do with Optimove being corporate overlords and financial sponsors of this podcast.
Absolutely.
But also, Sam, I'm not sure how many guests we've had that have a Z in their name.
Yeah,
so I'm excited.
It was never convenient, because whenever you didn't want to go first in school, it was always opposite alphabet day, and then you'd have to go first.
Yeah.
So I've been scarred by that a few times.
We've all been there. I mean, except for me and Fintan. Mostly you.
Everyone who has an A or a Z in their name has been there.
Yeah.
But John, you're saying like it's a weird time, but this for me is probably one of the most exciting times of the year, because so much. Okay, so look, obviously there's the whole NFL sporting season, and NFL's fun to watch, and it's a great kind of season. But from a business perspective, and particularly coming at us from as a marketing nerd, this is like everything rests on this weekend. I think there's as much pressure on the operators and the marketing teams and the trading teams and the customers were like, everybody's like under as much pressure as the team on the field, because this can make or break their year. And you don't know how your year is going to be until you've had that first opening weekend of the season. And you're like, all right, are we going to have it? Like, are we getting bonuses this year? Or are we all unemployed? Like, what are we up? Are we down? Are we flat? This is the most tingly moment. And it's for the UK to be the equivalent of like Cheltenham.
Yep.
Or something like that, where it's like you can just make or break your year. So
it's quite a short season though, isn't it?
Very short season.
I mean, it's barely even a full-time job for the players, from what I can gather.
It goes until mid-February. So the NFL, they keep elongating.
Barely worth putting your boots on.
They keep elongating the regular season. You mentioned Thursday's a strange day to start. NFL used to be on Sundays and Mondays. Now they're kind of expanding to be on Thursdays. There's a game Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or not Saturday, Sunday, Monday. So there's some trends around, expanding the footprint in terms of the days of the week they play, and then also the length of the regular season. But yeah, Fintan, it's a big
this is
week.
it. This is the week.
Our sportsbook clients have been prepping for this as early as mid-July. So
at least.
Which, for the record, was a point at which the proper football season was actually still going on, thanks to the Club World Cup. Just saying.
He's one of those.
Yeah.
So look, obviously, this isn't the first NFL season for Optimove and for you guys. What are you expecting to see this season, and kind of what are the year? We kind of started the macro, like what's the year over year trends? Like it's getting bigger, it's getting more like what are you guys seeing happening year over year?
Yeah. I think we're seeing the market kind of crystallize a little bit. I think we're seeing a lot more sophistication, creativity in the way that bonuses are allocated or offered.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And there's like from our seat, like we're a data company, and then we help our customers aggregate their data. We have a lot of data, and when you have really good data, you can build machine learning and AI applications on top of that. That really helps you be smart with kind of who you target and how you target them. And so this year we're starting to see a really smart usage of essentially AI decisioning to counter what we would call fickle fans. And the reality is that it's very competitive in the United States. You have a lot of sports books, you have a growing kind of maturing market, and the bonuses that fans are offered are everywhere, and they're coming from everyone. And so there's a lot of choice, and it's like, how do you put together a program, and how do you get them what they need to kind of stay loyal? And so we're really seeing our sportsbook partners kind of mature in that motion along with the market.
So it's a really good point, right? Because the tension, obviously, there's an evolution in the US. As I think there's only one state opening this year. Is it, I want to say Missouri or something towards the end of the year?
Yeah.
But like, if you think of maturing from market share at any cost,
right,
to I need to be profitable, and show growth, sustainable growth. But then on the other side, you've got the competitive pressure of lots of people fighting for that player, for that customer, and trying to tread the needle of don't give away too much money, but give just enough to be competitive and try, that speaks to the player, pulls them back in, keeps, that's a really fine needle to thread. Like, how do you go about that?
Yeah. If you think about like 2 years ago, right, in 2023, like you saw some pretty crazy bonuses flying around. Like I looked some up, like, some were like, $1,500 in bonus bets if your first wager was lost, or like bet $1 and get $200, right? Whereas it was very much, it's very much a land grab, right? Like an arms race.
Yeah.
And now you're like, you still do have some of that in the smaller players that are trying to steal wallet shares. So it's not gone entirely, but
Yeah.
the bigger players are starting to definitely be smarter about how they use their budget to retain players and grow their loyal customer base. So you don't see that as much anymore. But what you do see is, like, I think you see a lot more creativity in terms of, like, the games that you offer, the types of bonuses you offer. There's a lot more gamification involved in trying to stand out from the commoditized promotions, right? So I think it's classic. Like, the competition is good for the industry because these sports books are evolving in very creative ways.
So that's a really, so, if you're the guy sitting there or person sitting there behind the desk and like, right, I've got to come up with our bonus for the NFL season. Like, how do you even start that? Like, what does that look like?
Yeah, I think it depends on, like, the the assets that you have and the company strategy that you're taking. Because, like, so for example, like, Fanatics has Fan Cash, ESPN Bet has Fan Center, which links in players' fantasy leagues so that you can actually start to display bets on what their fantasy team is. So you're kind of doing cross media promotion there. DraftKings has, like, a partnership with NFL Direct TV. So, like, those are the types of things that are allowing, like, there's kind of this, like, niche development or niche specialization in the assets that these different companies are acquiring and then working into their bonusing or promotions. So I think you think about that. And then, there's like we talked about AI decisioning. There's a ton of different types of bonuses and offers that you can deploy, right? So it's like free bets, there's deposit match, there's no deposit bonus, there's odds boost. Like, the more and more, like, there's more and more of these types of kind of offers coming out. And what we've seen, and there's one customer that comes to mind, is, you know, to start, they were kind of throwing things at the wall and seeing what sticks, and everyone kind of had an opinion, but no one kind of really knew. And so that's one of the things that we help our customers do in using AI decisioning is, like, okay, you have all these different types of bonuses that you can offer. Some people might not even prefer the same one or the most generous one. So how do you actually, like, set up an infrastructure that allows you to test that? So this particular customer had 8 different kind of bonus types and didn't really know which one was yielding the most results. And so that's something that they tested through us. And then if you have a test and learn kind of infrastructure in place, you can quickly go from, like, I don't really know, like, the best, the best offer for this particular person, but we're going to try it, we're going to test it, and then we're going to use those learnings to kind of grow the business from there.
That's really useful because obviously it can be quite overwhelming. Like, you've got a toolbox, like you said, you've got a bunch of tools in your toolbox. Like, what do I use to hit my numbers? And it's massively overwhelming. And then you end up, I know I have, you just end up defaulting to just give money away and we'll just see just fucking hope for the best, right? We'll make it back. We'll make it back. CRM will kick in. We'll save the day down the road. So, okay, so you talk about the fickle fan. So, the classic thing is somebody comes in, they open a new account for the start of the season, they take the welcome offers, then maybe they duck out and they revert back to maybe a previous sports book, or they go elsewhere. Like, what are you guys doing to kind of keep people Like, because obviously acquisition is one thing, retention's
Yeah.
the second part of the other side of the coin, right? So how does that all work?
Yeah, I mean, personalization never hurts. So there's essentially four ways that we look at personalization,
Mm-hmm.
and I think a lot of the when you ask 10 people what personalization means, you get 10 different answers, right? And a lot
11 is even funnier.
yeah, but like for us, it's essentially like four layers, right? The first is segmentation. So like understanding cohorts of your customer base that are really performant. And so putting them into a group so that you can target them with a specific, top line message.
Well, what do you mean by performance? Sorry for the just
Those that are likely to convert or take an action that increases a KPI that's important.
Understood.
So most of it's like net gaming revenue.
Mm-hmm.
And then the second is like campaign selection. So if you have different messaging that you want to get out,
mm-hmm.
How do you decide which top line narrative goes to which person?
Mm-hmm.
So there's an element of like kind of the top line message that you want to get across. And then the third is channel and offer. So how does the person prefer to receive that message? Is it an in-app push? Is it an email? Is it some other form of communication? And then the offer type. So like we talked about the use case where you can have all these different types of offers. There's offer kind of breadth, and then there's offer kind of depth. And so when you use, machine learning and AI decisioning, you automatically assume that everyone will take the most generous offer, and that's not necessarily the case. Like there are people that will still play or still drive the behavior that you want with less than your maximum offer. And then the last is what people normally think of when they think of personalization, which is kind of last mile content or last mile delivery. And that's like what copy shows up or what image shows up. So if you're a Giants fan, like I am, getting the Giants image in the email. Yeah. So there's all these different layers of personalization, and the best sports books kind of build a foundation of their life cycle program. So you have your new customers coming in, you have your potentially like pre-emergent VIPs, you have your VIPs, and then you have your churn and dormant, and you're kind of building programs within that framework to ensure everyone's engaged across the life cycle. And within that, you're using kind of the different personalization tactics that I talked about to try and keep people engaged throughout the season. Another like very interesting test to try and keep people engaged is like there's a very interesting point. I think it's in like mid-October where you start to see kind of you have the baseball playoffs going on. That's when basketball and hockey start. And so that's like a big opportunity for sports books to kind of quote unquote cross-sell into different sports. It's fresh, offer kind of new types of bets because the sports are different. And that's a very interesting time to like do a lot of this testing using machine learning. So it's like, okay, this player's an NFL player. How do we know which sport he's going to go to next? And so we offer testing frameworks to be able to do that, and then get these players the right content.
It's a really interesting concept because I always called it. Sorry, John. The start of the NFL season, I always termed it as the kickoff of the US gambling season.
Yeah.
Because casino numbers also go up. Right, just everybody's in gamble mode now for the next few months, and just this is the time. So I suppose obviously for the US, it's casino's not available in every state, but like there is also the cross sell to casino, and just people are gambling, their kind of juices are flowing, and it's kind of time to go as well, right? So
Absolutely.
how do you layer that in?
Yeah, it's another layer on top of the sport diversity, right? So it's like, okay, this person is now diversified in their sporting activity. How do we get them to play casino?
Mm.
And so that's another test that you can do. It's like, okay, you have this cohort of NFL bettors, or you have this cohort of multi-sport bettors. How do we get them the right casino game to play? And that's where machine learning and AI decisioning can do that better than any human can.
Yeah, it's too complicated. Like you even just think, like, your brain just fries. Like, it's like, oh fuck it, just send everyone a blackjack deal, right? You just end up like taking the lowest possible decision, right?
Right.
Being able to do this at scale is super difficult. But then I suppose if you flip it around, then so it's in a way, I wouldn't say it's super easy, but like if you're a big operator, you've got lots of players, it's much easier to run these tests, get statistically significant results. If you're a small operator, what happens?
Same thing. I mean, that's essentially what Martech is doing these days, especially with Gen AI. It's democratizing the access to the sophisticated testing mechanisms. So the small operators do it too. I mean, we have quite a few quote unquote SMBs or emergent players that are new, that are actually looking to scale and compete, and we see them do it the same way.
Got it. Okay, that's good to know, because there's nothing worse of like, yeah, that's great, but I don't have a million players to like, A to Z test this small thing for, what color green should I use on my CTA button, or whatever, right? So it's great that it works at different levels. So what do you like looking ahead to this season and stuff, like what among the operators themselves? So you're saying there's, everyone's getting smarter around bonusing. Any other kind of trends in terms of what people are doing, or what they're worried about or focused on?
Yeah, I think just the ability to personalize at those different levels.
Mm.
It's the sophistication of personalization is becoming more widespread. Previously, you maybe only had one level of that type of personalization.
Yeah.
You're like, okay, I know this audience and I want to target them with something.
Got
But
it.
now it's like there's all these different types of cohorts of audiences that you can create, and then those different kind of layers at which you target them and decide what to serve them and when is becoming that. That doesn't happen overnight, right? Like that's
For
how
sure.
you build out a program. And so we're starting to see a lot of the operators like reach that level, which is awesome.
That's super interesting.
And at the end of the day, it's a better experience for the player too.
Oh, for sure. Like there's nothing worse than just a shit offer, right? I'm a VIP player and you've just given me a free tenner. Like,
Yeah.
it'd been better not to send that email.
Yeah.
Right. Or you typoed my name, or whatever it is. That makes perfect sense. Just, I know we'd kind of said we were going to talk about NFL, but just, John mentioned the Club World Cup. From your perspective in the US, did you guys see, did anybody care? Was it a thing? Or
I think it was
or in
very,
the Americas, maybe it's more a Latam thing or
yeah,
something like that.
yeah. I think it was very much kind of how the United States was viewing the actual World Cup. It was like kind of a preface. It's kind of a trial run or a test run for the World
Mm,
Cup. So yeah, we did see. Yeah, it's bigger in the soccer nations for sure.
yeah.
But obviously you had the start of the Premier League just happen as well, and then the World Cup is happening next year in the Americas too. So
Yeah, because I'm just curious. I think it was a test, but it's also interesting to see because John's got a theory that America's going to go crazy for the World Cup next year, and he's had this theory for a while, and I'm not convinced.
1 year I'm going to be right. Can you? I just need to turn my gain down a little bit, I think. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, can you find me?
Super, because fucking strange things are happening with my microphone.
I think you're right. By the way, I agree on that. that theory. I think
that the generation of players that are coming through now, and you always see this in sports, right? You have generational players whose legacy is actually what's important. Like Jordan would not be an outstanding player now in basketball because the players that followed him and saw what was possible have taken it further. Tiger Woods is the perfect example of a generational player. Totally changed golf, totally changed how golfers approach the game of golf. The players that we're seeing in football now who are 18, 19, 20 years old grew up watching Lionel Messi play and Cristiano Ronaldo and Zlatan Ibrahimovic, and they just play the game in a different way. And to young people watching it now, it's incredible. It's fucking FIFA, but it's real.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Yeah.
I did have a question though, Sam. So like American sports, or what we think of as quintessentially American sports, your football and baseball specifically, they're sports that generate a lot of data. I mean, it's just, tons of it. I mean, baseball is the classic for that. It's the ultimate anorak sport. Do they use the term anorak in the US?
I can't say I'm too familiar with the term.
Nerd sport.
Okay.
And people can obsess over these statistics. Do you find, this is kind of a tricky question, but the US sportsbook customer, do they favor traditional American sports and the sort of minutiae of those sports? Is other data heavy sports what they favor? Do you think them being data rich sports is a factor in that, or do you think it's like people are just going historically to what they know?
So it's interesting you mentioned like data rich sports. I mean, you have leagues starting to partner with big data companies. I think with the NFL, it's like AWS. Yeah. And AWS is creating data about things that no one either knew about, cared about, or had the ability to measure in the past. And so I think with the proliferation of big data companies, like you're starting to see more data about every sport. So in baseball, it's like swing speed, right? Like no one measured swing speed, a few years ago. In the NFL, it's like, I don't know, I'm exaggerating here, but like how long the ball like held in the air during a pass. It's like no one was thinking that would be correlated to anything, right? And so
you might be exaggerating, but that will come.
I mean, it might even exist already. So, but like things like that, where there's this just explosion of data, and you see these league partnerships between big data companies and the leagues, as a way, I think, to engage fans and like bring out stories from data that you couldn't otherwise tell. And so to go back to your question, I think because of the capabilities and the availability of data in sports now, I think it is making the sports like more interesting, more engaging. And then as it relates to betting, there are new kind of dimensions or new aspects that you can look at to advise your bet or how you play, which also makes it like more interesting.
Well, what I was thinking is, what I was thinking was, when you've got a business like Optimove and what you do, and it's about the granularity and sort of mining data meaningfully to create the end user experience, to create a unique end user experience, and personalization is a massive part of that. But with these data rich sports, then it's almost like you've got two ends of personalization coming for the player. You've got the personalization from the sports side and the data is making possible, and the personalization that you know about the player, about the end user and their play habits combining to make something that's going to be evolving, but what we're seeing because of those two data efforts meeting is something that's never been seen before.
Right. And it's changing. It's changing how people interact and engage with sports in general. Not even just betting people, but just like the general public. So I see the proliferation of data in sports as being, I don't know if tailwind's the right word, but definitely making it more intriguing for sports books to engage or capture or retain their customers.
You've got variables as well that can't be monkeyed with, which I think is really interesting. Variables that take out any possibility of collusion, any possibility of any pressure being applied to players, any possibility of dodginess. And actually, I think that's really sexy. Because the big thing when PASPA was repealed was, what about the integrity of the game? Well, actually, if betting can do how long the ball's in the air, if betting can do swing speed, these are things that players can't actually influence. I mean, they can, but only really, really broadly. Nobody's going to go, oh, right, I'm going to swing this fucker at 77 miles an hour. No.
Oh, I don't know. I think they could.
Yeah. I mean,
have you ever seen somebody manipulate a deck of cards and like how finally they can, like, I'm going to take the fifth card from the.
Exactly. You're talking about fine digital manipulation. We're not talking about fine digital manipulation. We're talking about.
I think it's possible.
No, not a chance. Because every time you swing it, the weather conditions are going to be different. The ball conditions are going to. Everything is going to be different. You can guess. You can try. But the likelihood of you doing that 5 times in a row,
but it depends how accurate the speed gun or whatever they're using as well, right?
One thing,
anyway, I'm getting into it. It's all right.
One thing you have, like, a few states looking into here, like there's definitely a couple prop bets that are kind of ripe for manipulation. So one that is being looked at here is like the first pitch type in baseball. Right. So I think we need.
What's the problem with the first pitch? Was
easily manipulatable, like either a ball or a strike. So I think it's easy to manipulate. So I think there's always going to have to be, obviously some sort of oversight, and like let's focus our energies on things that cannot be manipulated to continue to improve the integrity of the game. But JB, to your point, like the more data that you have, the quicker you can spot anomalies. And there have been cases in the NBA around that, where there's like kind of anomalies in behavior and data, and then those things get flagged. So data can very much help the integrity of the game.
I've actually been using data to analyze the amount of times that Fintan disagrees with me over the last 12 months, and it's every time.
It's 100%. I don't need to count.
Very quickly, statistically significant.
Did I really need AI to analyze that for me? I'm just not sure.
Just be right. It's really easy.
Easy for you. You're the clever one. I'm flailing here. I'm taking my bat and I'm trying to do a 77 mile an hour swing, Fintan. But the conditions keep changing.
Swing harder.
Damn it. Cheeky bastard. So do US bettors favour US traditional sports, or are they branching
Simpson,
out?
I'm going to jump in here. Homer Simpson summed this up perfectly. The same way he summed up many things perfectly. I watched a soccer game and I nearly saw a goal. And I think that summarizes the issue with soccer, and particularly to a US audience.
I'm not just talking about football, though, Fintan. There are lots of sports worldwide. Football is just the most popular one.
It is the most popular one, and there was nearly a goal.
But there's also there's a huge number of South Asian migrants to the US, and we're seeing second, third generation South Asian migrants who are fully American, own American passports. Is cricket big in the States? There's no reason it wouldn't be. There's loads of people that play it.
Yeah, but this is a
Don't you fucking sigh and roll your eyes.
Because
play with your fucking hair.
Look, everything's local, right? It's like with politics, local. Sports is a local thing. If all the kids in high school or middle school, whatever the school is, are getting funneled into, hey, we're playing baseball this week because that's what the gym teacher does, or it's tag football, or it's basketball, and we've got this amazing basketball court, or you could travel for 100 miles and there's a cricket pitch. Which one do you think the kid's going to end up playing? He's going to end up playing with all his mates, and he's going to be playing basketball or something else. And that's where the talent is. That's where the resources are.
This is a terrible example.
It's not.
It's a terrible example. Do you know why?
Go on.
And Sam, I think you can back me up on this. Pretty much every kid in America grows up playing soccer. Boys and girls.
No.
I'm not saying that they're not funneled away from it, but I'm saying when they're young.
Yeah. It's the easiest
pre-high school.
It's the easiest one to start, and then they're kind of funneled away.
Taken away.
Yeah.
All right, well, you said cricket, John. You said cricket. I was using the cricket example. But look, America's got an amazing women's soccer team. Like, that happened.
Yeah, but the rest of the world caught up.
They did. Quickly. Very quickly.
But now they have Emma Hayes, former Chelsea ladies coach. Big fan of Emma Hayes. I wouldn't want to be told off by her. Fucking hell, it'd be like being told off by Kate Chambers.
Be in trouble.
Seriously. I've been there, Fintan. Don't be told off by Kate or Emma. Okay, well, I'm glad that you answered that one for me, Fintan. I appreciate it.
No problem. Anything else about US sports you need to know, John?
I'll just scribble that one out.
Like if we took like the fourth string NFL players, they'd have like the world's best rugby team, that kind of thing.
So it's,
no.
It's depressing being me sometimes.
It's tough. You're glad I'm back though, right?
Yeah. I'm living the dream now. I was having a terrible time while you were
I had a huge holiday over the summer, Sam. I was gone for many weeks. And I've got to get back now. You know, it's that kind of classic, like get back, reassert dominance, you know, set the tone, take over.
It was gone for so long, I almost asked for a wellness check. I almost phoned the Australian police and said, he's I don't know where he is, but he's got a lot of hair. Shouldn't be that hard to find.
Probably drinking a Guinness.
Yeah. Okay. New York Giants, did you mention earlier?
My colleague did, yeah. And then, I'm a Giants fan, so...
Has that been difficult?
It's been difficult. Yeah, it's been difficult. I think the sticking point for the Giants fans is that we didn't re-sign a certain running back, and he went on to rush for over 2,000 yards and win a Super Bowl with our rivals. So that one kind of hurt, but we shored up our defense this year, and we had a good draft, and we have a promising quarterback waiting in the wings. So one of the league's hardest schedules this year. So there's actually quite a lot of betting action on the Giants going over their wins total for the year, which is, I think, 5.5 out of 18. But I think the future looks promising.
Hang on. So a difficult schedule, but aren't you just playing all the same teams that you played last season?
No. So we have a division where we play our division twice a year. And then they rotate the other teams every year. You typically play another division that's on rotation.
No wonder I don't understand American football. And I really don't. My brother explained it to me once because he lives in the States, and he explained it. And I was like, holy shit, that's really clever. And then I forgot.
Yeah.
I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do, Sam.
Yeah, there's speaking of betting, there's a lot of action on the Giants being underrated, which is a bet I am not going to touch.
One thing I learned long ago, Sam, in fact, during the 1998 World Cup, I learned this. And luckily, I learned it just in time for the final. That was the last tournament where I got a 16-1 bet in that tournament, would you believe? You don't very often see 16-1 in a football match. Then it was Nigeria to beat Spain. Obviously, I took it because it was the same Nigerian squad that had won Olympic gold a couple of years before. But anyway, so I go through the tournament. I lose all the Nigeria winning money. And I got all the way to the final. The final was on my birthday, right? It was Brazil versus France. France were the hosts. Exceptional defense, great squad. Zinedine Zidane, absolutely flying. Amazing. But Brazil, it's Brazil. They've got Cafu, Roberto Carlos. They've got Ronaldo, the real Ronaldo up front, just making absolute magic. And I learned and I remembered from that tournament, I remember this is a very important lesson. Never bet on the team that you want to win. So I bet on France to win, Zidane to score the first goal, and I won a sack load of money on my birthday.
And that's another thing that I think makes, if we go back to fickle fans, people bet more on than just their team. So if their team is, a lot of people see betting as a hedge, so that if they, if their favorite team loses, they still get something out of it. So if we go back,
I never bet on teams I support.
Yeah. So if we talk about personalization, right, and being fickle, it's like, okay, you've said that your favorite team is the Giants, but you're also doing all this other betting action. So how do we personalize that? How do we know?
Because if I got sent bets to bet on Chelsea in England, I'd be like, fuck off. They'll lose if I do that.
Yeah, exactly.
Because sports fans and sports bettors are superstitious.
Right. Right. So that's the type of personalization that that again is something that AI can do that humans can't. It's like this guy's self-offered that his favorite team was the Giants. Let's just send him a ton of Giant stuff. I'm not betting on the Giants. You're gonna lose.
That's really interesting because that's precisely where that would go wrong, isn't it?
Right.
Because like I say, I would be sent Chelsea bets, I would be sent England bets, but I would never ever do that.
Right.
And yeah, you probably just think
so that's where
I've been really guilty. I've fallen into that trap. I've sent that email for sure. I've definitely done that.
And sometimes, like sometimes they'll bet on the home team, but a lot of the times they won't. And that's where like things like betting, when you involve like betting behavior and a sport category into predictive models, like you can start to easily personalize. For JB, even though he's a Chelsea fan, he does not want to bet on Chelsea.
We just don't go there.
By the way, a couple NFL games in London this year. Yeah. October 5th, Vikings Browns, and December 12th, Jets Broncos at Tottenham Stadium.
Yeah. I haven't been to the Tottenham Stadium, but apparently it's absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're hugely popular, and people go down from all over the country.
Yeah.
It's a real event.
It's an instant, like getting tickets is practically impossible. Like it's instant sellout. So say they had I think did some college football in Dublin as well a few weeks ago.
Yep.
Again, instant. My brother-in-law is a huge football fan, and he did one of the games in Dublin a couple of years ago, and it was probably the best day of his life. So he gets to see an NFL game. The point of sale terminals in the bars in the stadium broke, so they made the correct decision of just giving away free beer. So he had an NFL game and free beer all day, and the weather was lovely, and he had a weekend in Dublin, and it was just like, this is one of the highlights of his life.
Yeah,
of just like that perfect storm of just everything coming together for him.
That'd be a top 3 day
for sure.
That is fabulous. God, I want to be your brother a little bit.
It would be such a great day, right? It'd be such a great day.
Like, I mean, don't get me wrong, 2 things that I would never do anyway, but I can just imagine his happiness.
Yeah, it's just boom, boom. We get, oh my God, it's getting better. Oh my God.
But also, I'd love to know the volume of beer they shifted, because a fucking free bar in Dublin, come on. Carnage.
They emptied the tanks. Like, there was nothing left. There was nothing left.
I once drank a pub out of Pernod.
Yeah, but you were an alcoholic, mate. Doesn't count.
No, like I was only 18 at the time, so I was still in training with Toby, who's been on this podcast. Also, who's also sober now and reformed alcoholic. I think I see where we went wrong in our teens. I think it was mixing with each other. Oops.
Anyway, Sam, anything else we need to know?
Yes, Sam.
We'll be at G2E in Vegas in October.
Are you exhibiting?
Yep. Yeah. So I don't know if you guys head to that, but we can.
Fintan's going.
No,
okay.
No, I won't be there.
Okay.
I'm not going either.
For the listeners,
not this year.
We'll be
I was
there.
going to, Sam.
What's that?
I was going to. I was so close. I looked up the flights because I got some air miles and thought I could do the flights. Just taxes would be like £300 or £400. And then I looked up a room and I was like, can't afford it.
To really get you.
It's insane.
I mean, if you were a VIP at one of the sports books, you'd probably get comped a room.
But he's not.
I'm definitely not. I'm just an ordinary scumbag.
He's a civilian.
I'm barely even that, Fintan. I struggle to be classified as a civilian. No, so it's a bit of a shame I'm not going to be there, but it is a great event.
It is a great event, yeah, for sure.
Well, have fun. Do you know your booth number?
Pop quiz, hot shot. Let's go. Oh, you're in trouble now. We'll edit it in.
Yeah. It's a big booth number. Hopefully,
on this one, what I'm gonna like put it over your words in monotone, and I'll do a proper accent for you. So I'll pretend to be you. I'll just be like, booth 342. Just be like that. Yep. It'll be seamless. Nobody will notice.
No.
Post-production.
So if you're in town at the time, check out Optimove at G2E in Las Vegas. It's still at Sands Expo, isn't it?
Yeah.
And there'll also be Ash.
You can say SBC Lisbon.
SBC Lisbon? Yeah.
Yep.
They are at SBC Lisbon, and I can actually tell you what booth they're on.
Yeah, I'm just furiously Googling it now. Yeah.
They are on stand A555. And at SBC, I don't know if this is the same in Vegas, but at SBC, if you mention us when you visit them, you will get your first month free.
Yeah.
I hope it's the same in Las Vegas. So if you're in Las Vegas, give it a try and see what happens. It might just
2 months.
Security! Fucking freeloader! Nothing's free in Las Vegas except for your first month with Optimove when you mention the gambling files.
There's the ad copy. Lock it in.
Nailed it. Sam, thank you so much for joining us today. Very much appreciated.
Thank you for having me. It was a pleasure.
And good luck to you and all of Optimove's sportsbook customers in the US for the new season, because it's the technology is just leaping forwards, and hopefully the people that get the most out of it are the end users, because happy customers means happy businesses. So thank you, Sam.
Thank you, guys.
If you've enjoyed this episode of the Gambling Files podcast, please find us on LinkedIn. Give us a big, juicy, succulent like. That nearly went wrong. You can find us under the name The Gambling Files Podcast. You can find us on Twitter under The Gambling Files. I think the handle is just @GamblingFiles. You can connect to myself, John Bruford, or Fintan Costello, also on LinkedIn. We're also both on Twitter. And you can find all of our previous episodes at www.thegamblingfiles.com. If you enjoyed it, please share. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell your colleagues, and we'll see you next time.